Hi everyone, I'm here with my whistle, my Tupperware, and my canned food, but before I get into how we're going to prep that, I just want to talk a little bit about this emergency recall. So again, there's no training on your part, we're just simply taking, this is like programming your dog. So it's not a matter of you, the only thing you can do is to do it right, is to actually do the sessions that I'm going to tell you to do. So there's no right or wrong with this, we're actually going to take a neutral stimuli, which is our whistle, and we're going to condition it to be a conditioned stimuli. And when I talk about those things, what I'm talking about is if you know the story of Pavlov's dog or Pavlov's theory, he discovered that he could actually turn a neutral stimuli, which was a bell, into a conditioned stimuli to make the dog drool, because he discovered that every time he prepared a steak or food for his dog would drool. So he then would ring a bell, show the steak, the dog would drool. Ring a bell, show a steak, the dog would drool. Ring a bell, show a steak. Then all of a sudden, he removed the steak from the pitcher. He could ring the bell, and the dog would drool. So that's what we call a conditioned. It was conditioned. Originally, it was a neutral stimuli. It had no meaning to the dog whatsoever, but he then conditioned it to have an actual response. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to condition a response to your dog with the whistle. Okay, that was just a quick little blurb on Pavlov's theory. By all means, if you want more information on that, you can look it up or Google it, or look it up on YouTube. They've got some cute little videos on, and with obviously a lot more detail than what I just explained it in. So, I've got my canned food. I'm going to show you. I'm going to tilt the camera down, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to prepare my dish. And I'll tell you, I just do it this way. So once we start pairing the whistle to this canned food, the dog's going to come in and actually just be allowed to eat out of this dish. So what I do, I could just take it all out and blop it all in here, but I try to spread it around so they can't just come in one great big scoop, take it all. And so I just try to spread it around. So they're almost going to come in and lick out of this off the sides. And then I actually do the cover also. So just let me get this filled up. And I would do all around it. And then I do the cover also, because the cover gets in the grooves, and I don't care how messy it is. Your other option is you try to feed it on a spoon or with your fingers. So I like this option because it lets the dog stay with me for a fair bit of time, but yet doesn't, they just can't eat a whole lot of it at once. And I don't necessarily care, I just don't want them globbing great big amounts into them, because we're going to do this 3 times in a row. So this is pretty much what I would do. I would get this ready in the morning and just kind of have this in my fridge throughout the day so that it's ready for me to do our exercise, which I'm going to demo here shortly. All right, everyone, so here we are. I'm in my living room. I've got my whistle, I've got my Tupperware, I've got Reggie here with me. I haven't done this type of training with him before. This whistle means absolutely nothing to him, along with this type of training with this Tupperware. So he's just kind of sitting there looking at me. He can smell the canned food, but I'm sure he thinks this is all very odd. So and the only reason I haven't done it with him, and I'm teaching it, is just because he's got a pretty strong recall to begin with, but there's no reason I shouldn't have an emergency recall in place. So I'm going to definitely go ahead and just train one right along with you. So I am, like I said, I'm in a quiet, low distracting place. I want my dog looking right at me, paying attention. I don't want to try to use this as a type of recall. I don't want to say his name first, nothing. I'm just simply going to blow this whistle. He's never heard it before, so I'm just going to give it a nice light little blow, and I'm going to be ready. The whistle happens, and the whistle starts to predict the soft food. So we're going to do my whistle. Good boy. Good boy. And you can see I faced the cover to him. I love using the cover. I probably use it more than anything. What a good boy, because he can just sit here and lick away and not get great big gobs of it. And I can tell him how wonderful he is. What a good boy. We want them to think this is the best thing that's ever happened to them in the entire world. I close it back up. And what you're going to do is 3 whistles. So I've got, so I just give them a second. He's licking the soft food off his face and the stuff that dropped on the floor, and that's great. And then I'm going to while he's still facing me, I'm gonna, and I'm just doing a low whistle. He's not familiar with it. I don't want it to startle him or be too loud in the house. I will gradually, I want you to work on the whistle getting louder as the week goes on, even though you're still in the house. Good boy, that's very good. Good, and again, he's just cleaning up the floor. When he's kind of done that and refocused to me, yes, good boy. That one, whoa, good boy, yeah, and then I bring that one in. They love to work at getting out of the cracks at the top, so I almost every time, I'm gonna put this back in the fridge tonight for tomorrow's session, so I almost always reload my lid, because that's the one I like using. Good boy, what a smart boy. So that was our session for today. So we've got what we did was 3 whistles with the dog looking right at us. All I'm doing is actually conditioning this whistle, which is a neutral stimuli, to becoming an actual conditioned one. You're going to do this every day this week. If you miss a day, it's not the end of the world. But the key is just have this prepared in your fridge. If you have 2 dogs, like I would normally do this with all my dogs, but I just didn't want the chaos for the video or whatever, not that it's chaos, but if I have other dogs and I'm gonna use the whistle for them, I would just simply, like they kind of know that if they're getting treats, so I just let one lick at it for a bit and then I let the next one lick, and it depends on your dogs. I can do that with mine. If yours, then just do them separately. And right now I just have my other 2 in the back room so that I could just focus on Reggie for the video purpose. So if you have any questions, let me know. 3 times right in the same training session, 3 back-to-back whistles. Just take a second in between, let them kind of regroup a bit, and then blow your whistle again. Blow the whistle low to start with, and then gradually throughout the week, I want that whistle to get a little bit louder. So you're not going to leave your kitchen table or wherever you decide to do it. You can do it in other places around your house. Like tomorrow I could do it over on my sofa and so on and so forth. But I want the dog to be focused right in on you. So that's going to be 3 times every day until next Friday. We'll say, let's say Friday. So we'll say you start tomorrow, so until next Saturday. And I'll post your next video of what you're going to do next week. But I'll be talking to you along the way. So good luck with that. By all means, ask questions if you have any.